Yeah, I know what? Actually, I'll open it later. Good morning, Crow. Did you recently hear that? That Tierra Whack song, or were you holding on to that for a while? Has that been like cooking inside of you? Day one. Same, bro. Hey, Crow, since you're here, I have a question for you. Are there any characters that you can think of off the top of your head, like a character that exists in fiction that you like you actually like this character? Maybe it's a favorite character of yours. Maybe it's just a favored character of yours that you feel you would hate if you knew them in real life, or if you had to deal with them in real. You didn't even let me finish. That you feel you would hate if you had to know them in real life. Is your answer still the same? Is it still Sailor Mercury, or do you have to change it now? Why would you why would you hate to know them in real life, Graham? What's Blue from, Crow? Whoa! I've only seen one episode of that show actually. And I wasn't exactly sure what I was watching. I had to kind of babysit somebody. It's not really what I was doing, but I had to make sure somebody didn't get into trouble. And and that's what was on the TV. Hmm. I don't know. I don't know what Blue's personality was, though. I mean, I that one episode many years ago. I don't remember. Could Blue talk? Could Blue speak English? I feel like I don't remember them being able to do that. But if they could, I mean, that goes to show how much I've forgotten about what I. Oh yeah, Blue can talk. What was Blue's personality type? Why wouldn't you want to know Blue in real life? I was the reason that I asked is because I feel like I was talking to somebody about like types of movies that I liked, types of TV shows that I liked, types of characters that I liked in media, in video games or whatever, and we were talking about like dream scenarios, like things that you would like, positions or situations you would like to be in, and I feel like I almost exclusively enjoy movies that posit a situation or a world that I would not like to live in, and I almost exclusively enjoy characters on screen that I would despise in real life situations. Um, and it's not actually exclusive. Like there's a few instances of like movies, TV shows, and worlds that I have experienced or in fiction that I would actually like to be in. But I mean the grand majority, like I want to say like over 90% Crow is just stuff that like I would never want to be anywhere around. For example, like I really like the show It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, and outside of the very vague me kind of really liking the city of Philadelphia, I don't like any of the characters as real life things. Like I only like them in the context of them being in this show. If I ever met any of those people, I think I would be very upset. Hi, Lots. Um, Hi, Rihanna. How are you doing? Hey, Lox. Can I ask you the same question? I'm making my to-do list for today, says Rihanna, before I take some meds and rip into my day a bit behind, so I have a quick visibility. You know, I also am a little bit behind on my day. I mean, obviously the stream started when it was supposed to, but I ended up there's a lot of stuff I do before the stream that I had to push until after the stream today because I just ran out of time this morning. But I'll get to it. it's Trash Tuesday. That's right. Oh, I didn't even know you're here, Cyber. Good morning, Cyber. They're pretty good, Cyber. I broke through some writer's block last night and was able to get an idea down for a song that I've been stumping me for a little while. I did get some lyrics down. I ended up changing them after I recorded that Instagram video, but not so much. Not so much. The general idea is the same. Yes. Rhiannon's almost done with the house. After the dishwasher, we have a few small touches, and then we're done. So we need to do another room. Dishwasher, wow. I haven't touched a dishwasher in so long. The idea, hmm. Dishwashers are fascinating, actually, to me. I don't know. Dishwashers are like kind of like a mystery to me. I'm sure they're maybe, well, maybe they're not. Maybe they're more complicated than I think they are. But I think I might be thinking they're more complicated than they actually are. Maybe they're actually somewhat simple machines. I don't know. Can't believe it's Tuesday, says Bay. Me neither. I couldn't either also believe it. Oh, also guys, I guess like quick story time. I guess I went to AT&T the other day. The other day being yesterday, to see if I can get different internet. Um, and they're sending out a technician to switch it, but I know it's going to be bad. The speed that they offer in my area is the lowest possible speed that AT&T can even give to somebody. You know how like in the descriptions of the different speeds, they're not allowed to say one's bad and one's good. They just have to say one's good, and then one's better, and then one's outrageous. Like the one that I have is like, oh, it's very good for a household with one or two devices. And I'm like, one or two devices? I think there's at least six hooked up to my like Wi-Fi at all times. I mean, if I'm counting like TV, PlayStation, phones, laptops, So they're gonna come switch it to that internet, but they say I have a month to try it before I get locked into like a year thing. I think after like the first like couple of days, I'll probably be able to tell that it's trash, and then I'll cancel it. But that I mean that was somewhat progress and to trying to figure out what I'm gonna do for season three. So where I stand right now, I am in a zone, an area that only has two options for internet, which is more than I think some people. But anyways, there's only two options for internet. The numbered speed that they said I could get was 6.06 megabits. I gotta stop saying megabytes instead of megabits. I did used to think that they were two different pronunciations for the same thing, and a few years ago I discovered that that's not the case. Um, as long as you have Windows 95. Oh crap. Yeah, it's 6. The thing is, okay, so it's 6, and the one that I have right now is 25. Or I should say, I shouldn't just say that that's standard, right? I should say that it's the word up to. Yeah, right? Yeah, that's horrible. That's horrible. So the the options are 6 consistent, 6 consistent, so it doesn't fall out, or 25, but then it just completely cuts out for like 5 to 10 minutes at a moment's notice. I actually have no notice. There is no notice. It just happens. And so I'm probably gonna end up sticking with the internet that I have, because that's horrible. Um, 1 megabit upload speed. 1 megabit upload speed. I don't know what I'm supposed to do with that. But anywho, yeah. So the way that it was explained to me, 6 megabits is DSL. Holy crap! Oh my god! Maybe I should just cancel before they even come out. Maybe I should be like, I've moved. I'm dead. Sorry, don't send him out. Don't send the people out. So, point is, the way it was explained to me. This is delicious, by the way. The way it was explained to me was if I'm connected with AT&T, I'm connected directly to the tower or whatever, and so it's an unsplit signal, and so it's very consistent. However, with Spectrum, my current internet, it's being split to pretty much everybody in my neighborhood is a Spectrum household. So if everybody in the neighborhood is on the internet, occasionally I'm gonna get booted off. And I will say that this is more so a thing that I've noted. I've noticed it get worse in 2020, right? When everybody was home. Back when like people were out doing things, it wouldn't happen so much. But last year it happened a lot. This year it's also happening a lot. And I think if I'm going to have to choose between slow, consistent internet, but really fast, inconsistent internet, unfortunately I'm probably going to have to go for the fast and consistent. If streams cut out, I'll just have to start a new one. I mean, it's just the area I live in, And since I'm like, I'm here, I've been here for 6 years now. Like, I don't know if I'm leaving anytime soon. So, I think it's just kind of one of those sad things I'm gonna have to learn to live with, which sucks as a consistent streamer, right? But I think that's my only option really going forward, is to do that. So season 3 probably isn't going to be able to have some of the cool things I wanted it to have, but I'm still going to change it. There's still things happening for season 3. Just, just I guess bear that in mind. The internet thing, it literally cannot be helped. I've done everything. I bought the LAN cable. I bought a new router. I got a new modem. I had the technician come out 5 times. I've even talked to a different internet service provider, and it just seems like this is as good as it's gonna get. Um, This is but if Spectrum, if you only get 6 anyway. Well, that's the thing. With Spectrum, I'm not just getting 6. With Spectrum, I am getting pretty fast internet speeds. It's just that it cuts out completely every now and then. Hey, what's up, Holiday? It just cuts out completely every now and then, and there's nothing I can do about it. But when it works, it's fast. It's never slow internet. It's just very inconsistent. Um, Crap, I was gonna say something. Crap, I was gonna say something. Blah blah blah. Internet can't be helped. Um, I've poured a lot of money into this at this point. It's not getting any better. There was something else I was gonna say. You think Verizon or some other company offer wireless? See, I didn't think of going as. I don't know. So let me back that up. I did think of going to cell phone companies or whatever. Oh, that's another thing. My Spectrum bill just went up. So that was another reason I was trying to get out of here. My Spectrum bill just went up like $15, and I'm just tired. It's so expensive. It's so expensive for like what happens sometimes. My internet stops working between 7 p.m. and 10 p.m. every day. Says holiday. Is that a thing that's supposed to happen, or is that like part of the contract, or? You're right. You're right, Cyber. Maybe all is not lost. Maybe all is not lost. I'll go check today. I'll go check today. Whatever. I'm assuming it's a mountain thanks this holiday. You live in a mountain. Mmm. That can be nice. Like, I mean, except for the 3 hours of just no internet for some reason, but it's pretty cool. Cyber says, time to move out, get better internet elsewhere. I can't move. 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 I'm trapped, guys. I love this place. I love this place, right? I love my little view of the cul-de-sac. I love the wood floors. I love how everything's set up. Yeah, I do love this place. It's kind of like a fifth limb. Fifth limb? Yeah, it's like a fifth limb to me at this point. But I'm also trapped. I can't move. A scheduled unplugging of the Ethernet cables. The cyber about the mountains. I can't move. I can't move. I think I will probably at some point, but I think I've fallen into the trap. I've fallen into the trap in LA where you live in some place long enough that you live in some place long enough that the area around you gets slowly gentrified, and now you're kind of like camping on this really old rent that you can't leave. You can't leave. Everything else is unaffordable. Get the FBI to investigate you and then steal Wi-Fi from their hidden cameras, says Holiday. Hmm. You know what's interesting? The internet cutting out very... Sorry. The internet cutting out very rarely bothers me, personally. It only is really a problem when I'm streaming. I hate it when it happens then. If I'm like on my computer, so like that, the internet goes down. Like, I'll be honest, I don't use the internet that much. Like, actively, you know. I'll be on my phone, which I use my mobile data for. And then, if I'm on my computer, I'm typically making music, and FL Studio doesn't run off of Wi-Fi, so I'm usually pretty good there, but it's just unbearable sometimes. Maybe a company like Clear, if they exist in Cali, could be an option. I actually did call them, and they're not available in my area. The lady was very nice, though. The lady was very nice that I talked to. She was like super ready to help me, and she was like, "Oh, can you just actually give me your address really quick so I can like see if we even offer it there?" And I was like, "Yeah, no problem." And gave it to her. She was like, yeah, we don't have it there. I'm sorry, sir." So that wasn't an option. The weird thing, though, for me about cell phone provider internet, and I realize this is going to show a little bit of my ignorance, and so I guess prepare for that. But like, something weird to me about cell phone tower internet is like you can use your phone in your home, and it can get lightning speeds, right? Because we're in an age where that's a thing. But then you go to that same cell phone provider and you ask for home internet, and they're like, we actually don't offer that in your area. Or they'll say, oh, we only offer the lowest possible speed in your area. And I'm like, why? And I know, at least I think I know they're different. Like home internet and phone internet are different. So phone internet can just be super fast in your home, but your home internet, which is provided by the same company, will just be super slow. I don't know why that is, but it is a thing that I'm learning now. Because I was under the impression I was like, yo, T-Mobile's really fast in my in my apartment. Why can't I just get like my cell phone internet but in Wi-Fi form? But that's not a thing. So here I am. If you have a solid upload of about 10 megabits, that's decent enough for a 720 stream, which is what you need, says Cyber. Hmm. Hmm. Need bigger tubes, says Holiday. This is not over the air. It's because of the wires. Oh. Infrastructure sucks. Word. Thanks, guys. You know, before quite a few of you showed up, I asked Cyber. No, I asked Crow a question because Cyber wasn't here. But Cyber was here, I think. I just didn't know they were here. Anyways, Crow's answer to the question was blue, and one of the Sailor Scouts. Was it Mercury? "5G might help," says Holiday. Let's hope. Let's hope. Okay. So in the beginning of the stream, I asked Crow if there were any. My back itches every day now. It's a freaking everyday thing. Anyways, before you guys showed up, I asked Crow. I said, "Are there any fictional characters that you favor, like you really, really like? But if you had to know them in real life, you would hate them. Like you just couldn't. You couldn't deal with them. You'd hate them. You'd try to kill them. You'd despise them. But in the context of the fiction that you consume that they're in, you just love them. You love when they're on screen. You love when they're on the page. You love when they appear in panels. You're just like, that character. I love that character. But you could never do it. You could never be in the same physical space as that character, or you'd be miserable. Rigby from the regular. No, really? Why Rigby? Interesting. Whoa! I was expecting more like outlandish, less relatable characters to me. Why Rigby? Jubbly says, have you ever tried turning your phone into an internet hotspot and connect your devices to that? I tried once years ago. Yeah, Jubbly, I've done that before, but it's not fast. It's not fast enough, and it also is not unlimited. My hotspot is like unlimited, but then it gets really slow after a certain amount of time. And I think that just doing a stream, the 6-hour production stream, would crush my hotspots like data limitations. Pay AMT for 100 gigabyte hotspot. How much will that be? Jesus Christ. Maybe audio only streaming could make it feasible. Probably. I don't want to do that though. Wait, audio? Whoa, hold on. What? No, I don't want to do that. But I do appreciate these suggestions, Holiday. Audio streaming only. Asuka from Neon Genesis Evangelion. We're exactly the same, but I think that's exactly why we wouldn't get along. Says Rhiannon. Interesting. Yeah, I can attest to that. I can't really name too many fictional characters that I feel like are too much like me. So much so that I would. Sorry, the garbage truck's coming, so just be wary of that. Word. Um, word, Cyber. Maybe I'll go back down and I'll ask them about that. I wonder how many gigabytes of internet I go through, though. That's the scary thing. I wonder how many. I would almost want to like monitor for a month to see how many gigabytes of internet I use in a month because I mean I've racked it up on my phone. You know, I have like the unlimited data plan, and it lets me know at the end of the month how much data I've used, and I use a lot, and that's just my phone. So I don't know, like, if I'm also like playing games and watching the TV. Um, I think this really interesting thing. Doodlebob is so me says holiday Doodlebob. Oh, Doodlebob. uh, Doodlebob's kind of scary to me. Is that the goal? Is that the point, though? I think it's supposed to be a little creepy. Okay, you can check bandwidth on the Spectrum website. There is a page on most internet providers that tells you your usage when you log in to check your bill. Thank you, Cyber. I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna do that. I'm going to do that. My brain stopped working when I was in AT&T the other day, or yesterday, guys. So I think my brain wants so badly for Wi-Fi, like wired internet in a home, and cell phone internet to be the same thing. That I don't like. When you guys suggest a hotspot, I'm like, I don't know. There's just a lot. There's just a lot. Also, I'm like the coolest customer because when I was in there was like other people in there that were literally yelling, like yelling at the people. And I understand it's a hard time right now. Everybody's frustrated, but I feel like I'm constantly in customer service situations where the person next to me is losing their mind, and I'm also upset, but I'm just chill through it. Anyways, did everybody answer the question? Did everybody answer the question? I got a Rigby. I don't, and I don't know that Liana ever told me why Rigby. Sonic is cool, but I hate him when I'm with someone. And wait, I hate when I'm with someone that walk faster than me, and I don't think it would work out. So that's pretty good. I think that there's so many different versions of Sonic, right? I think that I like Sonic, but I like the kind of cool, more authoritative version of Sonic, as opposed to the almost like infantile version of Sonic that was in the Sonic live action movie. I'm saying if I'm going to be hanging out with him. Why not Rigby? Oh, you did explain. My bad, Liana. Let me scroll. I love Rigby so much, and I personally identify with him strongly, but he ruins everything, and I probably couldn't stand him if I was Mordecai. Oh, well, what if you weren't Mordecai? What if you were somebody else? Oh boy. I think I think crap. Oh no, Liana, maybe you're right. I mean, that goes in line with my whole thing. Every character that I can think of liking are characters that I would not like in real life. I can't think of characters that I would like in real life because I think most of the characters that I would get along with in real life, I don't like to see on screen. They tend to be bland or not memorable. I'm like going through like, oh no. You know who I would like to be friends with actually, and I like them on screen, is George Costanza from Seinfeld. I think I actually would like to be that dude's friend. I think I would thoroughly enjoy being around that person. Also, Ross from Friends. Saying Ross from Friends hurts me coming out of my mouth for a multitude of reasons, but I think I would actually get along with him. I think I would get along with him a lot, actually. Holiday says Dwight. Dwight's somebody that you like to see on screen, but you would hate to be around personally. Mm, I get that. That's a no brainer. That's an easy one. That's an easy one. Very very entertaining, but yeah, in person probably horrible. Um, and I associate him with feet. Says Diz about Sonic, and I hate it. Feet are cool. Leon from Curb. I think I know Leon from Curb. I think I know several people that are exactly like that, and I do like them. But yes, that's a good one. That's a good one. Yeah. I think. I think. I think those are the only characters that I can think of. I tend to. I tend to. On the surface, I like chill people, but I feel like I don't like really attract people like that generally. I feel like I attract like really neurotic, um, neurotic, fussy, like high maintenance people like George Costanza. I feel like most of the people in like my friend group aren't chill, but I feel like a few of them are, and I do appreciate those people. But yeah, kind of people that are like always, it's always something. Those people, I feel like those people are like fun to be around. They're exhausting, but you know, they're never boring. I just realized I know a Leon. I think everybody. Oh, I can't say that. I think most people should know a Leon. Leons are important. Um, would not be would not want to be Optimus Prime's friend. But you like Optimus Prime? Optimus Prime. I don't like Optimus Prime, but that's fair. That's fair. That's good. Ramona Flowers IRL is exhausting. Source experience. I mean, but I don't even like Ramona Flowers in fiction. Oh crap! That was pretty. Oh no, I can't find it. That's so. Whatever. Piano sucks. Bubbles from PPG. No, not Blossom. Uh oh. What's PPG? I don't know what that is. Oh, Powerpuff Girls. My bad. um, that might make you Megatron, says Jeffley, which is a very good joke. I think. I think. I think, and what I was saying earlier to Crow is I was saying that not even limited to characters, typically environments, situations, and this kind of stems from the whole like secondhand embarrassment thing that I actually enjoy. But a lot of the situations in like TV shows and video games stuff like that are not situations I would want to find myself in. And those are the ones that I appreciate most in media, the situations I wouldn't want to find myself in. But there was this kind of, and I think that that's what it was. That was the goal of it. You know, the goal of a lot of the, you know, Seinfeld, Friends, New Girl is it was supposed. It was like designed to make you want to be friends with these people. Like you wanted to be in the friend group because it was filled with all these like colorful, loving, frustrating, and ultimately entertaining people. And I think a lot of people wanted to hang out in Central Perk or hang out in whatever that diner was that the Seinfeld people hung out in. And I think it was interesting because I liked liked most of the characters and I did want to be, you know, there with them as the show wanted me to, but I think if I was, I'd be miserable most of the time. I could smoke a blunt with Bruce from Finding Nemo, says Holiday. Hmm. And this is Skeletor is pretty dope. I didn't do like a proper I like it when the straw gets hot. I didn't do a proper medley today, guys. I'm sorry. It was not proper. I did a proper one. I can start now though. Thanks, Cyber. Alexis, do you know what this shirt is? You're the second person to compliment me on this shirt. Are people recognizing this brand? Or do you just think it looks nice because the gold text? Alexis says I'm gonna go with video game. This shirt, no. This shirt's it's actually an Ausla shirt, believe it or not. It's actually an Ausla shirt. I just think it's a sick shirt, says Rhiannon. Yeah, it's a shirt for like a music record. This feels so stupid. I'll never turn around. I don't want to stream again. That was stupid. But it's the logo on the back is from a music label. Anyways, maybe it's more meta, and doing the streams themselves are an act of revenge on someone in his past. Do I believe in revenge anymore? I think I've let go of vengeance as a thing that I believe in. Diz. Now, maybe it's just that I haven't been tested, and so I'm just speaking from atrophy, like vengeful atrophy, if that's the thing. Vengeance atrophy? I don't know. I used to be a very spiteful and petty person, but I feel like I'm losing some of it, and not even for like some cool altruistic reason. I think I'm just tired, and so no revenge, I guess. No revenge streams. I do like that theory though. I wrote that last night and I love it though. record the piano for it though because it was really late at night, and I was like, you know when you create things like late at night and it sounds dope, and then you listen to it the next morning, and or you look at it the next morning and you're like, oh, I was not in my zone. I think, even though I haven't listened to it yet, I'm just pretty sure it's going to sound bad when I play it. So I'm gonna do it with some fresh hands this morning. Alexis, did I miss a birthday? Hmm. Alexis says your next album could be a dark omni concept. I feel like regular omni is already a dark omni concept. Your birthday was Sunday. Well, I'm sorry I missed it. When a birthday? Sometimes something that sounds bad has value, says Holiday. You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. Wow, it's been a while. because doesn't Paul McCartney own the rights to the birthday song or something crazy? Somebody does. Somebody somewhere does. Yes, I remember that. I remember that being a thing, and people like kind of jokingly at birthday parties being like stop recording before people start singing it so they don't get like copyright claims put on the video. It was a fun time. A fun time. Good morning, Liam. No need to apologize for being late. Glad you're able to make it at all. Honestly, it feels like the stream's over, even though it's only been an hour. It's only been an hour, the stream. It's not over, but maybe I'm just tired. I don't know. Holiday says Fox. Oh, Fox owns the rights. Sorry. Just Fox? The word Fox out of context. I had to do some digging. Okay. The stream is always in our hearts. It's never over. The live stream. Ah, yes, the live stream. You know, I gotta write today, guys. Because this year I'm starting writing again. All of 2020 I didn't write at all. And 2021 I'm getting back into the groove, and so today I have to write. So hopefully that goes well. Why are bees so attracted to my window? So weird. But yeah, today's going to be writing day. Yesterday we talked briefly, or at least Liana asked me what would I miss most about touring, and we kind of got off on a whole tangential conversation about the pandemic and the quarantine and Corona. And it's funny because pandemic and quarantine are not the same thing, but in my brain, and I think in a lot of people's kind of like in the social space, those two words are like one and the same. It's like, oh, ever since the pandemic or ever since quarantine, because the two did kind of like become intertwined, at least here in the States. What is the love story? Ooh, okay, so this is making a callback to yesterday's stream, which I appreciate. Your memory is far better than mine is. Wait, hold on. Did you ever see those Snapchat glasses that are a camera? Of course I did, Biz. They were on your face? Yeah. They were pretty gaudy looking, and the camera was right here in the middle. Snapchat was on... It was like in Venice Beach, you know, that's where their headquarters is. Anyways, if it moved, it's not there anymore, but that's where it was, and they were just giving out those glasses. And I used to hang out at the skate park on Venice Beach a lot, and so they did give me a pair. But I wasn't currently using Snapchat, so it was a cool idea, but anyways, so the love story. If you don't know what lugs are, they were a brand of boot. Think of like Timberland boots, but not, I guess. I feel like they were coming for that like urban hip hop demographic. And when I say I feel like, I mean they were 100% doing that. But Tim's had kind of been such a staple, like a cultural staple in New York for a really long time, that me not being from New York, it was almost like, I'm not gonna say they were off limits, but they were like, that's a New York thing. You do that if you're in New York. That's an East Coast thing at least. Like West Coast doesn't really have a thing. And I remember how hard lugs were marketed to people, particularly on the West Coast. It kind of was supposed to be like the West Coast Tim boot. And I remember, I remember walking home, when was this? Was I at Willis? Was I in junior high? Or was this younger than junior high? I was younger. I wasn't in junior high yet. I was in elementary school. Doesn't really matter. The point is I was walking home, and somebody had thrown away a shoebox. By the way, I should say that lugs are pretty expensive, and like I didn't get to have them, you know. And there was a lot of cool, like I didn't get to have Nikes either. There just wasn't a lot of like cool name brand shoes in my childhood. It was a lot of like Walmart shoes and Payless shoes. So Anyways, I see a Lug's shoebox in the garbage can, and I was like, oh, that's sick. I can make people think that I have lugs. I can make people think that I have lugs. And I actually took a lugs shoebox that is out of a garbage can and took it home, and I put my own shoes in it. I put my shoes in the lugs box and I had it underneath my bed. And I was like, oh, if I ever have any friends over, maybe they'll see that and they'll go, dang, Omni rocks lugs. And they'll hopefully not ask me to open the box, um, which will reveal that I just had some airwalks in there. Airwalks were like Walmart vans. It was like Walmart's shoe. They made like knockoff vans and also knockoff Nikes. It's Walmart. It's knockoff everything. Anyways, I had a Lugs shoebox, and I held on to that for a pretty long time. So long so that even after I stopped caring about shoes, it ended up being the box that I would put like my PlayStation game cases back when they were jewel cases, because I didn't have like a cool little like rack. So I would just throw all my PlayStation 1 games in this Lugs box. And I'm pretty sure that Lugs box still exists in my parents' place somewhere, unless they've tossed it out. It might be in the garage, like underneath a bunch of stuff, but I never actually did own a pair of Lugs. I never actually did own a pair of Lugs. Do they still make Lugs? Lugs. Was it supposed to be like lugging things around? Was it supposed to sound like heavy duty? Also, the stream is dead. I mean, the stream is going because I'm currently using my mobile internet, but my Wi-Fi has gone out. My Wi-Fi has gone out, so that's what the monitor is down. I can't read any comments unless I squint and read them from my phone. Omni is all about appearances, says Cyber. I used to be. There's this really funny photo of me. You know what? I'm gonna find it. It's on my Facebook. I'm gonna find it. I'm gonna post it in the Discord. But there's this photo of me of like, I couldn't afford form-fitting things, so I would do the thing that they do to mannequins, you know, and like H&M and stuff like that, where they put a regular shirt on it, but they like pin it back so it looks form-fitting. So you, the stupid idiot, not knowing that it's not form-fitting, you buy it, and then you get home with basically a glad bag with sleeves. I used to, when I would take photos, like in front of the mirror, I would pinch the back of like my shirts and my vests and everything to make it seem like I got the cool H&M or not American Apparel like shirts that everybody else was getting, and I didn't shop at Walmart. And I thought I was really getting it off. I was like, oh, this looks hot. But like, no one takes photos like this. No one takes photos with just one hand tucked behind their back. I don't know. I thought it looked natural. But like, I recently, like a couple of weeks ago, I was going through Facebook and I looked at some of those old photos and I was like, it's so obvious that I'm pinching my clothes behind my back. You can even see like the lines of like the distressed lines of me trying so hard to make it look like I had a slim fit tee or something. It's stupid. But yeah, I think back then I was definitely all about appearances. I've done almost a full 180 where now I do not care. The most work I put into appearances now, especially after 2020, especially with the stream, is like trying to make sure I don't wear the same shirt 2 streams in a row. And emphasis on trying, because I'm sure I do it. I'm sure I fail and do it anyway. But yeah, trying to wear a different shirt. Trying to wear a different shirt when the streams are back to back. Oh, Lugs. You know, sometimes I feel bad for my parents. You know, I was just bringing things. Like, I'm thinking about that Lugs box. There were so many times where I just brought home literal trash and put it in the house. I thought a rock looked cool, and I would just bring it home and I would put it somewhere inside our home. You know, I saw something cool in the trash can, I would pull it out and bring that home. Saw something dead, bring that home. This looks cool, you know, just I was always bringing things home and putting them in my room. And my parents never threw those things away. It was interesting. They kind of just let me have all the trash. Let me have all the trash for a while. I eventually got out of that. Well, wow, I almost said something really insulting about An ex of mine. Anyways, I eventually got into the habit of doing stuff like that. But that lugs box, I kind of want it now. I kind of want it now. I want to know what else is in there. Yeah, I can do Melancholy the Trash Man. The other Trash Man hasn't come. Where be he? Where be he now? I still want to do like a. And I want to. No, dang it, dang it, dang it. It goes. No. There it is. Uh-oh. I don't know who's timing it, but... Oh, there it goes. The internet's back. Okay, I thought this story took place when you were like 19. No, God. Okay, when I was 19, I was done bringing garbage home. At least that's what I thought. They put it in the trash for another kid to find. Apparently not. Sisterhood of the Traveling Lugs. Where are those real lugs? I found these cool syringes. It's pretty funny. I did touch those things. That's what's weird. I mean, you're making a joke about syringes being on the ground, but I did used to find syringes on the ground, and I would pick them up. I would pick them up, and like I wouldn't bring them into my home, but like I did. I'm sorry, Liana seems disgusted, and Liana should be disgusted. It's very disgusting, but I didn't know what was going on. I didn't know what heroin was. We hadn't gotten to that section in Dare yet. In fact, I don't know if Dare ever taught us about heroin. I think Dare taught me about marijuana, and then it was like, don't do that. It might lead to harder things. And it just left me to imagine what harder things meant, whether it was armed robbery or, I don't know, crystal meth. Anyways, I did find quite a few needles, and I did pick those up. Did you ever use to pick up sticks from trees and imagine them being like swords or weapons? Of course. What? Yeah. You know, I was actually really upset because I found a branch that it was perfect, Cyber. It was perfect. It was at my grandma's house in Buckeye, Arizona. I found a branch. Perfect split. Perfect split. You know what that means, baby. It's slingshot all day. I found the slingshot branch where it was like the wood was, you know, it was thick enough to withstand some some tension. And I was like, oh, okay, now all I need to find is a piece of stretchy rubber. Nobody ever explained to me what the stretchy rubber was made out of. I didn't know where one gets stretchy rubber. So I tied like bicycle tubes, like inner tubes. I like cut that and tied it around the sides, and it did, if you've messed around with your bike inner tube, it does have some stretch to it, but definitely not enough to launch anything. Anyways, I tied that around it, and I would like hold stuff, and I would kind of give it a little like extra. I would put like a little extra sauce on it to make it like actually go a bit of a distance. And I didn't live with my grandma. We only went there like every Sunday. Sometimes we wouldn't even go there on a Sunday, but it was like almost a weekly thing. Anyways, I hid it. I hid it in the home. And my grandma had this room that always smelled like fire. It smelled like it had been burned or something, but nothing. It was actually a really scary room. Most of the rooms in my grandma's house were scary, actually. But anyways, it was a very scary room because there was just a lot of stuff in there. She had like a lot of like storage things, sewing stuff. It smelled weird. It was really dusty, and even if the rest of the house were cold warm, for some reason that room was always really cold. I think it was like a late addition to the house. I don't know. Anyways, hated that room, but I hid my slingshot in that room. I hid my slingshot in that room because I was like, I don't want to leave it else somewhere else in the house. My grandma finds it and throws it away. So I left it in that room, and my grandma found it and threw it away. So that was the end of that. But I found the perfect stick, and I never found a stick that good again. I never found a stick that. I guess that's not really a sword. I didn't pretend that was a sword, but I've also picked up a stick and like whacked my sister in the face with it or something like that, which is something I imagine you do with a sword. I didn't know what the rubber was made of. You know what I mean, Diz. Not all rubber is created equal. Not all rubber is created equal at all. And when I looked at something like Dennis the Menace, I was seeing, yes, it's fiction, but I was seeing the rubber, right? And I was like, that rubber is thicker than a rubber band, because you have to be able to, like, load. You've got to be able to load your ammo into it. So it's, like, thicker than a rubber band. But every piece of rubber I could find or think of that was that thick wasn't that stretchy. I guess I could have used a scrunchie, maybe, but that doesn't look cool. That doesn't look cool. Anyways, yeah. My grandma's house was pretty dope. I really wish, and it's a stupid wish, but I wish I could have experienced both my grandma and my grandmother's house with the, like, brain and outlook on life that I have now. I think having to go to my grandma's house was always a bummer to me as a kid because she lived kind of out in the middle of nowhere. The TV was really small. There was no games or anything to play. I kind of just had to like sit in the house and watch my parents talk to my grandma and like laugh and stuff at things that I didn't think were funny. And since she lived kind of out in the sticks, I could go outside, but there wasn't really anything to play with out there other than like chickens or derelict automobiles or dirt or chickens. And I just hated being out there. It was really hot. It was dusty. It always smelled weird. There wasn't anything cool. The house was spooky. The food was never dope. That was the other thing that kind of sucked. Buckeye was one of the only cities in Arizona that had those like indoor restaurant Pizza Huts. The Pizza Hut that you can like sit in. It's got tables, it's got arcade machines. It had a real Pizza Hut restaurant. And every time we would go out there, it was like I had to eat my grandma's cooking, which was like, like super soul food. It's not just soul food, it was like super soul food, which, for me being a kid, like I was like, I don't want to eat this. How come we never have Lunchables? Why don't we have Eggo waffles, I wanted like the white people food I was seeing on the TV, and that's not what she was making, so it was really upsetting. And there was like things around, there was a Sonic out there, there was a indoor Pizza Hut out there, there was a few like dope food choices, and I just couldn't, I couldn't get those things. There was a few times where we were left with my grandma for about a week, and during those times I know my mom would leave money with my grandma and say, this is for food, and it wouldn't be much, I don't think, maybe like $20, $40, but I do remember my grandma one time getting us Pizza Hut, and it was a big deal. That was really cool. It was weird, but it was cool. Anyways, Liam says, I miss my grandmother. I miss my grandma too, Liam. I think that's part of the reason I was saying, I don't want to bum anybody out, but that's why I was saying, like, I kind of wish that I could have gone there with my current brain. Because I think if I went there today to visit my grandma, it wouldn't be like this sucks, I'm bored, wah. It wouldn't be like that. I think I would just, be an adult and genuinely enjoy the house and the experience as opposed to being, you know, a whiny little baby about how there was no N64. So my grandma's house was built a long time ago. I hope so. And there's a graveyard in the back. Ooh. And the gravestones have grown into and around the tree that's there. Whoa. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. Hey, what's up, Cloudless? Hey, Cloudless, when you messaged me on Genshin the other day, I hope that was you or that was some other Cloudless. When you messaged me on Genshin the other day, it legit scared me. Anytime I'm playing a game that I forget is online and somebody messages me via the game, I do like have a very, very short panic attack. I have the same type of panic attack that I have if I'm like if like I finished a stream, right? I finished the production stream and then I'm like I don't know, like I'm like eating a pizza straight out of the box, like with no shirt on, and I look up at the webcam for a second and I'm like, wait, am I still streaming? Did I forget to turn something off? And I freak out for like 2 seconds. When you messaged me in game, I freaked out for 2 seconds. I was like, can they see me? How do they know I'm playing? What's going on? What's happening? I was actually scared for a second, but thank you. Thank you for messaging me. That was really nice. Mm. That's the worst nightmare, Dar. That's the worst nightmare. I've actually had nightmares about that. Nightmares that I forgot to stop streaming and just started like going around my room doing stuff. And I was getting like a bunch of texts. I was getting a bunch of like line messages from Cyber that's like, Omni, no, we can still see you. No, Omni, stop. I'm so glad this never happened. But I do like there is a there is a brief moment after every production stream where I do double check to make sure. Sometimes like I'll like restart my computer because I'm like, I don't know, man, it can still be on. They can still. I'll like face the webcams up towards the ceiling. Like, I don't know, man. They might still be out there. Oh man. Yeah. Yeah. Anyways, thanks for messaging me, Cloudless. That was nice. I did finish the whole Snowy Mountain DLC and everything, by the way. I did finish that. It's all done. It's all done. With record time. We'd be respectful and just not watch. I hope. Oh. Yeah, I've had that dream. I think like at least 3 times. 3 times I've had dream because it's kind of become like school or work. I've had dreams. I've had dreams that I've forgotten to stream, and people have messaged me and been like, "Yo, where's the stream?" And I've been like, "Whoa, what? I'm at Disneyland. I didn't know I was supposed to stream today." And they're like, "Bro, it's Thursday. What the heck?" And I'm like, "I gotta get home." Like telling Mickey Mouse, like, "I gotta go, man. It's like 9:15. I gotta start the morning medleys." The whole front door situation is funny to me that you'd be paranoid about this. Yeah, I guess if people could like, I think because everybody in my neighborhood is like people they're in my neighborhood. For example, my blinds are very rarely closed. The only time I close my blinds is if it's so hot. Like these, I mean, blinds. I don't know why I call them blinds, curtains. Sorry. The only reason I close my curtains is if it's so hot that I just need to block out the sun. Otherwise, they're kind of always open. And I don't really care too much if somebody looks directly into my window at me. Because I'm like, yeah, whatever, do your thing. Have fun. Go to town. Something about, because I can usually see them. It's like it's a two-way piece of glass. I can see them too. If it's, something about a webcam is more anonymous and creepy. It's just a black circle. I don't know who's on the other side of that circle. I know who's standing outside my window. I can see them. That's fine. That's fine. Whoa, what 5-star did you get, by the way, Cloudless? Put a post-it over the cam says Diz. But you're in your room, it's private. They're outside, it's different. Is it? I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm not saying you're wrong. All I'm saying is that me like getting changed and then looking out my window and seeing a man looking up at me into my window doesn't bother me. However, me getting changed in front of a webcam where I don't exactly know who's on the other side of it is a different feeling. I'm not saying one's worse than the other. I'm just saying that one is more mysterious than the other. And maybe it's the unknowing. Maybe it's the unknown that's so troublesome in this situation for me personally. Leon says, has that happened? Which, the changing in front of a webcam or changing in front of a stranger outside? Stranger outside has happened. Changing in front of the webcam? I want to say no, at least not to my knowledge. I might have done it. I don't know. I might have done it and just not known. But I don't think so. I don't think so. Because the only time I have webcams on is for morning medley on Fridays. And yeah, I want to say no. I want to say no, Liana. Yeah. Imagine having your computer off and the webcam was flashing red. Oh, that's good. That's good nightmare food, Cloudless. I like that. People make money getting changed in front of webcam all the time, and I've been doing it for free. Whack. Well, it's a whack world out there. This says, if someone was actively looking at me from outside, I'm grabbing my bat. I have a bat. I have a bat. Oh, and I love it. I love it. I was just shaving it. Shaving it? Sanding it? I was just sanding it the other day because I wanted it to be like really smooth. I bought it from Kmart right before they went out of business, and it was like kind of rough. I mean, it was like almost like splintery rough. And so I got some sanding, and then I got a baby bat. You know, the little baby ones. They're like really tiny, like the ones that you give to a little kid, but they can still do damage in a fight. Hold on. One of these, just like something small, you can fit in a backpack, but like when push comes to shove, you can really split some heads with it. Anyways, there's sometimes people that are kind of, because like I live in a cul-de-sac, so I think naturally when you're walking through a cul-de-sac, you are aware of the buildings around you. And since I live upstairs and my light's usually on and my curtains are usually open, I will give the people the benefit of the doubt that their eyes are drawn upward. If you're walking through the cul-de-sac, especially if it's at night, especially if I'm playing piano, people are constantly, I don't know if you'll see me, sometimes I'll just stop and wave to people. People are constantly walking on the sidewalk and looking up at me and waving or making eye contact. And so, it happens a lot. And so I don't know that it's, I try to put that on the situation more than I always put that on people. Like, I don't automatically assume that they're trying to be creepy if somebody's looking into my window. Because they're not like, they're not like climbing up to my window and then peeking in. It's more so they're walking and we just naturally make eye contact. In the same way that you would if you were... I can't think of a good analogy of that. I don't know. Because I very rarely make eye contact with people. Yeah, for sure. I have the sword in the living room. This is more so for, this is more so for on the go, like, because this can fit in a backpack. I can't carry the claymore onto, like, the subway. Well, yes I can, actually. I might get arrested, but I can carry it onto the subway. For sure. I meant like with the sole purpose of trying to see me, not just looking around, says Diz. Oh, yeah, that's a little bit different, right? If somebody's like specifically targeting you and they're like stalking you or spying on you or... I get that. That's a little bit different. It's a little bit different. But yeah. All I was saying was it's a different feeling for me. Somebody looking in my window versus somebody looking at me through a webcam. I don't know how we got here, actually. Because Cloudless messaged me on a game that I forgot I was online. Thanks for the message, Cloudless. Crow says, Rack World. Crow got my joke! Thank you, Crow. Crow got my Tierra whack joke. Okay, I feel I feel that I can start making videos again. Or I can at least try. I'm going to try to get like, everybody's got their New Year's resolutions. This isn't necessarily a New Year's resolution. I just feel like last year was a lull year. I like the idea of last year being this forgotten year that is going to be put in a hole somewhere, and I'm not going to be able to recall too many things from it. We all know that my memory is bad, and with last year having so few milestones to really remember it by, personally, and the fact that I wasn't writing at all, it kind of is going to just be a black hole in my memory. Like, as much as I want to say I'm going to remember 2020 forever, I think at a certain point in my life, 2020 is just going to be quarantine year, Sonic came out. Those are the only two things I'm going to remember. I'm not going to remember what happened in a stream. I'm not going to remember what I purchased. I'm not going to remember who I met. I'm not going to remember who I lost. It's going to just be a black hole for me. And I'm trying to make sure that 2021 doesn't fall into that same hole, I guess. So I'm going to start writing again, doing more logging of things that I'm doing every day. Try to rebirth the schedule. For sure. All the properties here are walled off, so if someone is looking through my windows, it means they shouldn't be here. Wow. Walled off properties, huh? Like a gated community? Like, is that what you mean? Like that? We don't have those out here. When I say out here, I mean east of the river. There really is, like, I make jokes about it a lot, but in LA, there really is, like, there's a river that there's the LA River that runs north to south, and it matters, like a lot of those things, like, it matters which side of the river you live on, for sure. And I live on the east side of it, where things are a little bit more gritty. Oh, hold on. Actually, I don't know. Let me know when somebody from LA is in the stream. Are you watching this from jail? Every single yard has 4 walls around it, I mean. Oh. Are you talking about backyards, Liam? Are you talking about backyards? Or are you talking about front yards? Oh my god. You know what, Liam? I was actually thinking about that the other day. I don't know if you're talking about back or front. I'm gonna assume you're talking about front because I was in Watts. Sorry, not Watts. That would have been something. Anyways, I was in Inglewood. And a certain part of Inglewood that does have like the walled off front yards. But they're not like walled off in the sense of like you have to climb a wall to get there, but they all have like a fence in front of them that has a gate. You can't just gradually end up in someone's front yard. And I was thinking about that, and how that was in me growing up. That was never necessarily a thing. That was never the case, and I wonder if it's simply a privacy thing. I think that gates, as somebody that does not own a home and probably won't for a really long time, if ever, I think that gate sometimes can like. I don't want to say ruin, but they make a home look weird. I don't know. Like, the front yard doesn't look cool from the front when there's a wall, And I feel like yards are one of those things that are better admired at a distance, but whatever. I'm saying a lot of nothing now. We have walls that you gotta scale. Some people stick broken bottles up there to stop people scaling them. Ay. You guys got Home Alone booby traps out there. Word up. I mean, I hope it works. I hope everybody's safe. I mean, except for the people trying to hop fences, I suppose. The amount of fences I've hopped in my day, without checking to see if there was broken glass on the lip of it, holy crap. If there was ever broken glass up there, I would have been toast. All right. I know so little about Zimbabwe. I wish I knew more about it. What kind of area is what kind of area is Victoria Falls? Victoria Falls is a first world country inside of a third world country. Whoa. Is it really big? I mean, I guess that's relative, right, Liam? But yeah, never mind. Forget that question. Except as wildlife like warthogs and the occasional elephant roaming around. Before it got granted city status, what was it considered a part of, Liam? Like, what city was it? What city was it inside of, I should say? I haven't seen a waterfall in so long. I have a really weird question, guys. I'm projecting a little bit here. Is there anything that you do? Maybe it's something you say Maybe it's a way you stand. Maybe it's a thing you do with your eyes, your lips, your hands that you do very subconsciously, but when you see yourself do it in videos or photos, it pisses you off. And like you're like, God dang it, why do I always do that? I gotta stop doing that. I gotta stand up straighter. I gotta stop walking like that. Why do I do that thing? Is there anything, do you guys have a thing like that? Hey, what's up, Rem? Um, it's very beautiful in Zimbabwe. Definitely has the best side. He shares the fall of Zambia because you can actually see the water falling. Oh, can you not from the other side? I blink a lot, and I have a blinking problem, says Cloudless. I tend to look around a lot when I'm just staying. I'm not making fun of anybody, by the way. These are very funny to. These are very. It's fun. It's fun to read out loud. I'm sorry. So it's even. I'll tell you guys my things. But I have a bunch of them. I just chalk it up to my character. I tend to look around a lot. I like. People don't tend to be bothered by it. That's yeah. I mean, I guess part of the focus is that it's like something that doesn't seem to bother anybody else. Maybe nobody else even notices it, but you, when you're looking at yourself being recorded or you're hearing yourself speak or something like that, you're like, I do that so much, and I don't like that. I don't like that I do that. I laugh at my own jokes, and boy, is it way worse on camera. I like that. I like people that laugh at their own jokes, but I hear you. I guess I look more goofy on a recording, says Liana. I have 1,000 of them, says Ram. This says, I think sometimes I have an intense or nervous expression and it makes me look insane. I'm sorry. That's good. That's good. I tend to ask people if they understand me, even if what I'm saying makes complete sense. Oh. A lot of these are very relatable, by the way. I don't know what I expected. If I see myself on a recording, I just see a walking clown. That's fair. Same, sometimes. I suppose I tend to move when standing still without knowing it, or slouch. Word up. Okay. If I'm focusing on something, I don't bite my lips. It's not a lip bite. As much as it's like both of my lips in my mouth, like that. I hate that. I hate seeing that on camera. I hate seeing it in photos. I hate seeing it in videos. I hate feeling myself do it and becoming aware that I'm doing it. It's the worst thing. If I never did that for the rest of my life, it'd be dope. It'd be great. Hey, is it Booby X? Booby Xy? Booby Xy? Hey, what's up? How you doing? Word. This is to elaborate if I'm focused on something. I'm almost never expressing emotion on my face unless I focus on it. That's a good one. Screw the lip tuck. I hate the lip tuck. Well, welcome, Booby. Thank you for making the trip over to YouTube from the Instagram, since I haven't been streaming over there in a while. What's another thing? I laugh at everything. I laugh at just about everything, and like, whoo, boy, is that not appropriate sometimes. That's something that I wish I could laugh in my head instead of out loud a lot of the time, but it's just, I laugh a lot. I always look bored in every image of me, says Liam, because of the whole never expressing emotion on your face unless you focus on it. Word. I feel that. I feel like I had a lot of them. Most of mine are very visual. Not liking that I'm doing something with my body. I also tend to slouch. For the person that said slouching earlier, I also, will tend to have poor posture, especially like if I'm really into it, what I'm playing. My posture will kind of just deflate. Um, I do a lot of this. I can't. I okay, and this is because I feel like I have really long arms. I feel like I have orangutan arms, and I don't like just sitting with my arms like this. So there's a lot of like videos or photos of me where I'm kind of walking around like this, which is way worse, by the way. I look like C3PO or something like that, but my arms are always kind of like bent at an angle. Right, doing a lot of this, a lot of these. Very rarely are my arms just at my sides. I'll put them in my pocket or something like that. But there's a lot of bent arms, and I feel like particularly because of my body style, it makes me look ridiculous. It makes me look like a freaking Dr. Seuss character, and I don't like it. Um, hmm. I this is more of a sonic thing. Um, Sometimes it'll take me well, sometimes it's good if you're trying to vamp for time. It's really really good if I'm really good at vamping for time, I guess. But sometimes, and it's really embarrassing. Sometimes when explaining a thing or talking about anything, I love anecdotes and I love analogies. So very, very rarely will I ever make a point without an anecdote or an analogy. If somebody says, "Well, why do you like this thing?" Usually there's a story about why I like that thing, and I will prefer to tell the story about why I like the thing because it's fun for me. Occasionally, I will go so far on a narrative detour that I will lose all thread of what the heck I was talking about. And I know, and it's this really, and I've seen it. I've seen me do it on videos. I've seen me do it in interviews, where I'll lose the thread, and I'm in this really uncomfortable position because I know the person knows what the thread is, and they're waiting for me to get to the point, but they don't realize I've completely lost sight of the point. And I'm like spinning my gears in this anecdote, looking for what the point was because I don't know how to just stop and go, "Hey, man, I kind of rambled my way into confusion. I have no idea what the original question was. Can you ask the question again?" Like, I'll do that in job interviews. I'll do that in like musician interviews. I'll do that in casual conversations. I do it a lot. I do it quite a bit. I feel like the two modes I have are either anecdote, analogy, oversharing, telling a bunch of stuff, or I just don't say anything at all. There's very little middle ground for me, and usually only once I'm not in that situation anymore and I'm looking at myself do it from a third party point of view, I'm like, oh wow, what a frustrating person to talk to. But yeah, I don't think that's gonna change actually anytime soon. Um, Word for people who look great all the time. I feel like they practice it in a mirror. Says Leona. Perhaps. I tend to have a very mean-looking expression when I have my headphones on. Says Cloudless. Mmm. I'm sorry. I thought of something stupid. But yeah, same sometimes. I'm far too self-aware of my body to take a normal photo that looks relaxed and not staged, says Diz. I hear that. I hear that. How are you feeling during your sidewalk talk interview? Did you forget the question? Oh, Cloudless, so badly do I want to talk about my sidewalk talks interview here. But I mean, if I'm very honest about how I feel about the Sidewalk Talks interview, it's going to sound bad. It's going to sound negative. It's going to sound overwhelmingly negative. So until I figure out a way to share how I feel about that interview without it sounding negative, I can't say. But I don't know. I might have lost the thread. I would say that some interviews, some interviews are really really fun, and I think that's like the point, you know, for them to feel fun, for them to feel good, and I can candidly say, with no offense to anyone, that that one did not feel good. Anyways, uh, this says, as far as I'm too so warm, if I take a relax on stage, I think that if I'm taking photos of myself, which I haven't been doing a lot lately, but I typically do, I think that I have this kind of like, when I take a photo of myself, because I don't take a bunch. I don't like take like, you know, 8 photos and then pick the best out of the 8. I'll usually take like 1 or 2 and I'll go, it's not getting any better than this on me. I kind of just tell myself that and then I move on. I say, you know what, it's, what do you want from me? You're not Lenny Kravitz, just post the photo. You're not going to get better looking if you take the photo again. And so that's kind of, I have this like, I give up. I like surrender after a couple of photos usually. And so I agree with that, what you're saying. I always feel weird. I'm like, do I even stand like this? I don't feel like I ever stand like this. But then if I stand how I naturally stand, I look like an idiot. So it's like, what is it? An honest idiot or a fake idiot? Those are some of the best conversations, though. Did you have an album EP called Speed Dream? I did. I did. It's only on YouTube and SoundCloud right now, but yeah, it still exists out there. It still exists out there. At some point, I'm just like, this is what I look like, says Diz. If you're not into it, then I don't know what to tell you. I have that. I think that I have that in more ways than one, though, Diz. This is not, I'm not trying to shift the conversation too much, but I'm saying I have this almost stubborn, just, you know, you get what you pay for. Like, I'll wear something and maybe I'm not very happy with it, or make a song and I'm not that happy with it or whatever. And I'm like, you know what, this is me. If they don't like it, whatever. This is, I made it. At the end of the day, I made it. Maybe they should go somewhere else. I say that a lot of times. Um, I know people don't typically like pictures of me if I'm just going off of data, which isn't all that reliable a lot of the time, you know, algorithms sort of thing. But people tend to like, because I'm a music person, so if I post a song, people like it more than if I post a photo of myself. And if I post a song that's funny, people will like it even more than if I post a song that's serious. So on that scale, I tend to even have a lower, you know, appreciation for photos of myself. I just put them out so that people know what I look like, to remind people that like there is a face attached to this music, but you know, it's hard labor for me. All right, I think that made me feel better. I think that made me feel better. Cloudless and Company, whatever that means. I mean, I didn't feel bad, but I think that there are a lot of times where I forego looking at videos of me performing, or looking at videos of me streaming, or looking at photos of me, at, you know, because I don't particularly like certain things that I do, certain things that are very natural to me. And I think when taking, for those of you that have been in a photo shoot, or for those of you that are photographers and have directed a photo shoot, it's a lot of work, right? Um, as somebody who is not a model but has had to be a model for my own photo shoots, there is always this like very uncomfortable thing where the photographer is just taking photos, and I'm like, oh my god, this might actually be relatable. I don't know. Like they're taking photos, and in my head I'm like, aren't they gonna like tell me what to do? Like I'm just standing there, and they're like, they post. I'm like, aren't they gonna tell me how to look cool? I'm just standing here, like I'm not a model. I don't know how to look cool. I don't want to pay for these photos, and then they're bad because I didn't do the right thing. Tell me what am I supposed to do with my arm? You know, make me look like Lenny Kravitz. That happens to me all the time. I've only had one photographer since I moved out to California. That was like, hey, can you like lower your chin, or can you like do this? Can you like turn to the side, stay there for a second? Can you do that? Can you turn your head? Just, you know, I like that. That's what I like. Tell me what to do. I don't know how to look cool. And I'm getting the photos. I want to look good in the photos. I don't know how to look good. You got to tell me what to do. I've definitely had a lot of photo shoots where they've just taken photos of me. And then I've like, my brain always flashes back to this one, you know, in America's Next Top Model. I don't watch that show, by the way. I did watch a couple of episodes back when it was on UPN or something. Anyways, America's Next Top Model. I always think back to those photo shoots where the women are like in the worst, situations. They're in an ice cold bath, or they're like got like 5 fans blowing on them, and there's a snake wrapped around their neck, and they have to like somehow still look sexy or whatever while they're in hair raising situations. And I always think about those episodes and how the women look uncomfortable or they're starting to cry, and like Tyra is somewhere off camera going like, "This isn't sexy, make it glamorous," and the woman's like, "I'm allergic to snakes" or something, and I'm like, okay, how do I make this photo look good? And so for a minute, I'll do like a, this is something the models would do, right? Like I try to like do like a cool like sexy fun pose, and then when I do it, I feel immediately ridiculous, and I can see it on the photographer's face. I can see them go, that's what's he doing now? But they still take the photos of it, and they still edit them and send them to me in the end and charge me for them. So whatever. Anyways, I don't know how to take a good photo. I've been called photogenic by some very nice people, but I don't know what to do. I think the only times I can take a good photo is if I'm not aware of the photo being taken, if that makes any sense. Candidates only. Liana says, are you referring to metrics or specific platforms or all? I was kind of referring to all of them. And metrics. I was talking like just likes, likes and views. Likes and views, baby. The currency of social media. I feel like anything on my face and my videos. Yeah, I try to give pointers to my friends to help them pose. Thank you, Liana. I thank you on behalf of your friends. I got called photogenic, but then I seen the photos. It was like, oh, cloudless. I've been called photogenic, and I was like, I think I don't know what photogenic means. Does photogenic mean brown? Because I don't think I look good in any of these photos. The only consistent thing I can find is even the color of my skin varies pretty wildly depending on the season. I usually lighten up around this time of year. We've got 7 people stabbing you with knives when you look like you enjoy it. Amen to that, Liam. That's what that show was like. I don't know what top models came out of that show, but I did watch a few episodes of it, and I thought, wow, being a model sounds hard. I hate giving direction like that to people, says Diz. Well, absolutely. I would hate it too. I would hate doing it, but I'm just saying, as the person that doesn't know what to do with their body and face, it can be rough when like somebody's like, let's go, let's do a photo shoot in this warehouse, and I'm like, okay. And then we go in the warehouse, and I go over there, and I stand and I face them like this, and then they take like 20 photos, and I'm like, all right, well, do I look cool? Do I look like Spider-Man yet? I don't feel like Spider-Man yet. Why are bees always on here? Go away. The thing, though, is I take really good photos of friends, but they don't do the same for me, says Liana. I mean, we're not all great photographers, This is just T-pose. While says Ami looks at his photos, and his own photos are staring into his soul. That's not good. I don't want that. They want the plant juices, the bees. Oh, maybe. The new leaf is coming in, guys. It's coming in. I'm going to be repotting this thing soon, and fingers crossed that I don't kill it somehow in the process. America's Top Omni. That would be fun. That'd be fun. It would be really easy. All you have to do is play a keyboard, and I guess that's it. Play a keyboard and be tired all the time, and eat a lot of things that have cheese in them. Anywho, I do need to do a new photo shoot at some point this year. I don't know when, how, or why, but I didn't have one last year, and I've been using the same photos from freaking Korea. I've been using the same photos from South Korea in 2019 all throughout 2020, so I probably need to take some new photos. Cloudless is tired all the time is my life. Word. Word. But we are at 11:01. The news, guys. The news for today. Have you checked the news today? Something about COVID. Anyways, the news for today is that we're getting ever closer to season 3. As we've talked about at the beginning of the stream, my two options are internet that craps out for about 5 to 10 minutes several times a day. It did, by the way, during this stream this morning. So if I start using my Wi-Fi for the phone, it's going to crap out. So the news is that I checked AT&T. AT&T's internet is going to be so slow that I'm not going to be able to stream at all. So my next bet is checking and seeing how much it would cost for. Anyways, my next step is seeing how much it would cost to get maybe a hotspot. I don't know. That sounds silly, but I mean, I'm at wit's end right now, so I'm really just trying to think of something. Thank you, by the way, Cyber, for suggesting that. Maybe that's something I can research today and get some answers for. My girl likes to be tired all the time, tired all the time, tired all the time. My girl likes to party all the time. That song is really good. I mean, we as a planet often kind of poke fun at Eddie Murphy's music career, and even I'm not a big fan of when he started doing reggae stuff. I mean, screw those songs. But that song and the one song he has with Michael Jackson, "What's Up With You," that song, those songs are good songs. What's up with you? That's a good song. I mean, the hook is good. I'm not a huge fan of the verses, but anyways, crap. The news. What was I saying? Baywatch. Oh yeah, so I'm still trying to figure out the internet thing. Season 3, there is going to be a break between Season 2 and Season 3 as I prepare for Season 3, and the internet thing might be actually part of it. If I can figure out a better solution to my current internet, then I will do it. If not, if I can't, honestly, guys, I am sorry. I just live in a place with bad internet, and instead of making that a reason to not stream, I'm just going to bear through it, and frequently apologize for the inconvenience to you guys. Cloudless says Season 3 ? Season 3 is going to be episodes 301 through 400, I guess, of the morning medley. I was trying to implement some small changes. A lot of it we ran out of time for, but I do want to have a distinct, at least a mile marker and go hey, this is a different season. What about 292? Sound 292. Thank you, Cyber. It's called Slow Tremolo Strings. Some of these sounds are so bad. So this is Tremolo Strings, 291. And this is Slow Tremolo Strings, 292. They just come in a little bit slower. And they have more decay on them, so you have to stop pressing them and they still keep decaying for a little while. Whereas 291 yesterday's are instant and then stop as soon as I let off. Whatever. Anyways, Chrono Trigger sound. Ooh! A Chrono Trigger song came on my Discover Weekly I don't know, a few days ago, Cyber. And it was weird. I never beat Chrono Trigger, but it's weird how instantly recognizable the soundtrack to Chrono Trigger is. Because within the first few minutes I was like, is this Chrono Trigger? And I was like, yeah. And it's weird to me because I can't tell if it's a sound choice thing or if it's a composer thing. It's probably honestly just a combination of the two. But the sounds in Chrono Trigger are so distinct. Even as somebody that doesn't play a lot of JRPGs, the Chrono Trigger soundtrack really jumps out at me as one of those iconic ones that I just remember. He killed it. Some of those songs don't even... It's weird, man. There's a lot to be said about voice. I know I'm getting a little bit sidetracked, but there's a lot to be said about voice and making music, guys. It's not about making really complicated music. It's not about making really fun music all the time. It's not about making very technically impressive music. Sometimes it's just about voice. And Chrono Trigger to me, like, even though none of those songs, I don't really listen to any of those songs and go like, whoa, like, what does he do there? Like, I don't really listen to it and think that, but I do listen to it, and it has a very strong voice. Um, Very cool. Very, very cool. Also, Chrono Cross is a game that I tried to play and I just couldn't. I just couldn't. And I think it was because I loved Chrono Trigger so much as a kid that I thought that Chrono Cross was going to be like more Chrono Trigger. And the connection was way, what's the word? Looser than I thought it was going to be. Anyways, I didn't beat either one, so don't talk to me about story stuff. I'm trash at beating JRPGs because usually about 2/3 of the game, I just run out of like, I like run out of steam. I start to feel tired, and I'm talking too much about this. Anyways, the news is that season 3 is starting soon. After some changes are implemented, I'm still working on the internet thing. I'll let you guys know how that goes and give you guys updates as I receive them. But that is what 292 sounds like. It's a slow tremolo string. I do have some music outs. Tall Tales, House of Omni, Ooh. And Signals. There we go. And then the Dream series, we have Nice Dream, Love Dream, Speed Dream, Daydream, Lunch Dream, Quick Breath, and Ego Death. All these can be heard on Bandcamp, SoundCloud, Spotify, iTunes, Apple Music, Google Play, Amazon MP3, Tidal, Groove, Deezer, Pandora, Napster, and YouTube. Check out Quarantunes while you're on YouTube. Something that I hope to be able to add to this year. I'm always in quarantine. You know what? Even after the vaccine comes out, I'm still going to be in quarantine. Maybe quarantine goes on forever. Maybe my heart's in quarantine. How about that? It's a lot of effort to maintain investment in them since they're so dense. This is true, Diz. I don't know if Diz is talking about specifically the Chrono Trigger and Cross games or just JRPGs as a whole. But yeah, I think that JRPGs exist in this kind of like weird inaccessible valley to me, where I liked them mostly when I was young because I had a lot of time and effort to pour into a very dense project, and I also liked turn-based battle systems. And then now, but I was too dumb to really understand them, Now that I'm smart enough to kind of understand some of those games that are way too complex for my like little baby brain, I don't necessarily have the patience all the time to invest in them, and it sucks. There's so many games I think about, and I'm like, I'm pretty sure if I played that game today, I'd be able to beat it. I was so bad at games when I was a kid. Whether it was a tactic-based fighting game, an actual fighting game, a shooting game, I was just generally bad at games because I wasn't very smart. I was just stupid. And so a lot of like puzzles in games, like Ocarina of Time, I got stuck in Ocarina of Time 2 times. I got stuck in the water temple because I just couldn't figure out how to get out, or get through, rather. And I also got stuck when you first go into the little Deku tree thing, and one of those spider things drops. I remember it dropping from the ceiling and like spinning around, and I dropped the controller. And I was like, nah, this isn't the game for me. I thought this was going to be a game where I got to like wield a sword and go and kill dragons or something. They didn't tell me there was going to be giant spider zombie demon things in it with human faces inside it. What the heck was that? Anyways, I dropped the controller. I didn't play the game again for about 2 weeks. And then even after I finally, like weeks and weeks and weeks of just courage, got through that tree level, the game continued to be hard. So I couldn't beat the game. But there's a lot of times where I think back on games like that and I'm like, I'm pretty sure I could just run through that game in like a couple days today, knowing how I kind of slosh through games now. But now I don't have the patience that I once had as a kid to like pour into those games. This says, I wish I would have gave Majora's Mask more of a shot. Also, beating a game. Oh, he's taking it! He's taking it! Uh-oh. Oh, it's gone. He's taking it. Yeah, that couch is gone, baby. It's my neighbor's couch. Well, I'm like looking at this. I'm looking at this feed. I'm looking at like on my phone, and it looks wild. It's been there a couple of weeks. It's been there a couple of weeks. He usually just ignores it, but I guess this time, I don't know. It got lucky. It got lucky. I'd been there long enough. Oh, I don't know how to turn my camera back around. Oh, there we go. Anyways, uh, yeah, it was just really scary. Zelda was really scary at the time, so. Man, dogs are so stupid. Anyways, he, I wish that I could go back and play some of those games. Beating a game as a kid for me was like, if you beat a game, if you saw the credits in a game, you were like a god to me as a kid. Whenever somebody came up to me on the school, like on the school grounds or my front yard or whatever, in the courtyard, and they told me I beat that game, that was like, it was like telling me you'd flown to the moon. I was just like, what's it like up there? Like, you saw the credits? What kind of music was playing in the credits? Like, what happens after you beat the game? Do you get to still keep playing it? Like, there was just so much that I didn't understand because I had never really beaten a game. I didn't beat Mario. I didn't beat games, so I never saw credits. I didn't even know what really happened at the end of the game. I think the first game I ever beat was maybe maybe Crash Bandicoot? Maybe? I don't know. I feel like I should know the answer to that question, what the first game I beat was. Like the first real console game I beat was, but I don't know actually off the top of my head. It was definitely a PlayStation game. Maybe it was Tomba 2. I think it might have been Tomba 2. Crap, man. I guess I just didn't beat games really often. It was a rare thing for me as a child to beat a game. And now I just feel like I can beat anything. I'm invincible now. I also think that games have gotten a little bit easier, but I won't talk about that. This is, I think I'm going to have to grab a 3DS remake, maybe. Maybe. Okay. This song's called Hush Hour. It was the closing theme for season 1 and 2. But it'll just go back to being a regular stream song after season 2 ends. Looking at the couch get crushed is like, oh, it's ruining my day. Why don't we have a mech yet? Why don't we have a mech yet? If we can do this, if we can squeeze couches, we should really have a Gundam at this point. I don't even know how this works now that I'm looking at. Oh. Okay. Sorry. I do apologize for that. Gundams would get so bodied by a tank, says Umbe. I like Umbe. Ziegler says, be safe and well to Diz. Goodbye, Diz. Thank you so much for being here. I want to thank everybody, as always, for being respectful to me and polite to each other. It goes a long way, guys. You got no idea how long of a way that goes. The length of ways that it goes, you'd be astonished. I would say that the streams are. Alright, come on, guys. I would say that the streams are like, fortunately or unfortunately, depending on your perspective, like a good half of my social interaction for the day. I would say a solid. If I'm including the stream and Discord, it's like a half. It's a whole half. Whereas back in like 2019, the stream used to be maybe 10%, if that, of my social interaction for the day. This is like a half of it. So if this was whack, it would be pretty rough. But it's not whack. So thank you everybody for being, again, respectful to me and polite to each other. I do appreciate it. I hope to see you guys tomorrow at 9 a.m. for Morning Medley number 293. Really rounding out 200s. I will be on the Discord because I do have a lot of work that I have to get done today after I get back from Pizzanista, because it is Pizzanista Tuesday. So I'm going to enjoy a nice, fresh couple of slices. And I'll be back on Discord for the remainder of the day and just getting some work done. I have some commissions that I need to work out. So thank you again, as always, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your day. Abo, everybody.